Hey my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea and today I have another foundation review for you guys. And this one's pretty affordable. This is the new ColourPop. This is the Pretty Fresh Hydrating Foundation. So when I saw this launch as a preview sale on Ulta's website, I was like, I'm intrigued. So I posted it on the community board and a lot of you all said, yes, I want you to review it. So that's what we're doing today. And if you are unfamiliar with my foundation reviews, what we do is we do a full day wear test. I try to make sure that I have the foundation on for a minimum of 8 hours. A lot of times I go much longer than that. We do a flash photography test to see if there's any flashback. And then, of course, I update you at the end of the day with my thoughts and recommendations of the foundation. So stay tuned throughout the entire video for all of that information. But before we get into this video, I just want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend some time with me. If this is your first time here, I would love for you to stick around and subscribe to my channel and join the Glam Girl Squad. And if you are a returning subscriber, well, thank you so very much for deciding to come back and for supporting my channel with all of your likes and comments. It really does mean a lot to me. So let's get into this video. Okay, so like I said before, we have the new ColourPop foundation. If you're a little unfamiliar with their line, they have a Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer, which I did review, and I will link it for you right here if you're interested in it. They also have a Pretty Fresh Primer and a Pretty Fresh Setting Spray. I don't have the primer, but I do have the setting spray. So it looks like they're trying to expand upon this line, and they also have a Pretty Fresh Concealer. I don't have that one either. But this is what the packaging looks like on the foundation. This is a plastic bottle. Finally glad that they put a cap on. I remember their first foundation, they didn't have a cap on it, and I was like, that is just so tacky. Thank you for the cap. Okay, so to give us a little bit of details about the product, we get a total of 30 milliliters of product, which is the standard 1 fluid ounce of product. I have the shade 155W, and so there is a preview launch on Ulta's website with 29 shades. The full shade range will launch on ColourPop's website on July the 9th, and that will contain 42 shades. So if you go on Ulta's website now and you feel like you don't find a shade that you like, just check back on July the 9th on ColourPop's website. There will be more shades available. So some details about the product. The ColourPop Pretty Fresh Foundation is a hydrating foundation that delivers medium buildable coverage with a natural skin finish. Infused with coconut water and hyaluronic acid for hydrated, luminous skin. The flexible formula provides undetectable medium to full coverage that lasts all day. The vegan foundation is dermatologist tested and oil-free, alcohol-free, and fragrance-free. The shades that are in this particular foundation do not correspond with the shades in the Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer. In that particular foundation, I wore a shade 16N, but I felt like that one was a little too light for me. This is 155W, so I think this is a pretty good shade match. We will try. So we are going to apply the foundation on one side of the face with a brush and then the other side of the face with a sponge. So let's get to applying. I am not going to apply a primer today. This is what one pump looks like, which I think is a lot of foundation. And the foundation is kind of runny. It's not super runny, but as you can see, it is definitely not thick, and it's got a bit of slip to it. So I'm going to go in with my BK Beauty 101 brush, and we are going to start applying this to the face. So I'm taking just this amount. I want to just see what it looks like. There isn't a fragrance. It said it was fragrance free, but I still would like to smell it just to see what it smells like. I think shade wise, this is a pretty good shade match. This is what the foundation looks like on my face. I would say this is about a good medium type of coverage of foundation. This is what my face looks like without foundation. So I think it looks nice. I think shade-wise, it's a pretty good shade match, which I'm glad about because I was a little nervous. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with a damp sponge. This is the BK Beauty sponge. I still have this much foundation left on the back of my hand, so I'm gonna go in with that. Actually, let me just take this and apply it to the skin. Yeah, that's what I wanna do. Because since this foundation is just a little thin, I wanna just apply it onto the face first and then go in with my sponge and blend it out. So this is the sponge side with the foundation, and this is the brush side. Just off of initial application, we're definitely getting a little bit more coverage on the brush side than we are the sponge side, which is expected. A lot of times the sponge will soak up more product, leaving you with a little less coverage. Overall, first impressions, I think this looks really nice. I like this nice luminous finish. I think luminous is a really good word. It's not dewy. It's not matte, obviously. It's a nice luminous finish. Let's add another, I would say, half pump to see if we can get a little bit more coverage, just because it said that it's a buildable formula. So I'm gonna go back in with the brush on this side. And it's always easiest for me to see the building of coverage with the foundation where my freckles are. And every time I do this, one of y'all always goes, don't cover your freckles. I'm not covering them. I'm just doing this for review purposes. Normally, if I were wearing this foundation, I would have just left it where it was initially, but this is a review, so we gotta test it. See if the claims are actually holding up. And in my opinion, we really didn't build too much coverage. What do you think? I feel like my freckles are still showing pretty much the same. Let's go in with a sponge, adding a little bit more coverage here. And I'm just using what's left over on my hand and blending that in. So I do think we were able to build up the coverage a little bit more on this side of the face compared to this side of the face. I still feel like this side has a little less coverage than the brush side, but I do feel like I was able to build up a little bit more coverage on this side. Not too much more. So I would say that this foundation is a good solid medium coverage. I don't know about full coverage. I guess if you added another layer, maybe. I don't want to do that, so I'm just gonna leave it here. So I'm gonna come in a little closer so you can see what things look like on my face. Brush side over here. I think this foundation looks really nice. I would say it looks more like really nice and skin-like. I think that is a good term for right now. Obviously, we're not at the end of the day, so I'm only making these claims from right now. And I'm liking it. I'm really liking this luminous finish. I feel like my face looks perfected. Just looks nice, even, smooth, and ready for the day. So let's do some flash photography to see if there is any flashback. Okay, so there's no flashback, which is great, which means that if you'd like to wear this at night and take some flash photography, you're not gonna have to worry about that, at least from your foundation. So I'm gonna go and apply the rest of my makeup, and then I will come back and show you what everything looks like with the completed face. Here back, this is what my face looks like with all of my makeup on top. I've been debating on if I wanna do a setting spray or not, and I think I do want to do a setting spray because that's normally what I would do. So I'm going to do it. I'll just add a little bit of setting spray, not too much. So I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I did just do a full review of this setting spray, and if you're interested in it, I will link it for you right here. Everything is set. I am liking the way that my face looks. I think that this leaves my face with a nice, I was like a demi matte finish. Now that I have everything on my face, I will go ahead and list everything that I am wearing on my face down below if you are interested in it. But yeah, we will go about my day. It is currently 12:05, so I've already had this foundation on for about an hour. So far, so good. No settling in my fine lines here, and nothing is alarming. So I will check back in about, I would say, at least 8 more hours to give you my final thoughts. So say you're back, it is the end of the day, and I have now had this foundation on for a little over 8 hours, going toward the 8.5 hour mark. And y'all, I'm tired. I'm ready to take this off my face. So let's do a final check-in. And final check-in, I ain't mad at it. So I feel like it held up really well throughout the day. I was kind of out and about today, so I had my mask on and off several times, and I feel like there was no real wearing away of the foundation in terms of it being on my face. I have like no settling in my fine line. Let's take a look at this. So let me come up a little closer. Look, right there. There's no settling of the foundation in my fine line. And y'all, it took me a nap. I was tired. I tried to sleep primarily on my back. but I am a side sleeper, so I don't know if I technically went on my side. I think the foundation looks really good. I do have definitely some dewiness around my nose where my oils did peek through. And there's just a little bit of shine on my forehead. But I feel like for the most part, this did okay. So in my opinion, I think this foundation would work best for somebody who has normal skin. I would even go with dry skin. I think if you had combination skin and you set it with a powder that you liked, then I think this could work for you. And oily skin, I would say maybe for oily skin. Because if you use the mattifying primer and use the powder, you might have to blot. But I mean, I'm just gonna do a quick little blot right here. I think depending on how oily your skin is, you might be okay with it. Because if you kind of just get oily around here, but the rest of your face is pretty normal, I guess that would categorize you as combination skin, then I mean, I feel like I did that blot. I feel like I could wear this for a good while longer because it hasn't really worn away anywhere to where I feel like it looks bad, I need to really retouch or just take it off and start over. So I mean, I think this foundation is pretty long lasting, and I think it could work for the most part, all skin types. Maybe if you're extremely oily, maybe no, but at the same time, I feel like oily people could wear this because my whole face is not dewy. I mean, this little area right here was dewy, but my entire face was not dewy and shiny, which makes me believe that this is not going to be an overly dewy foundation. Definitely leave your feedback in the comment section below if you have any other skin type than mine. Mine is pretty normal. But leave a comment down below if you have extremely dry skin, oily skin, combination skin, and if you have tried this, let us know what your feedback is so that we all can get a better perspective. But honestly, I think this is a good like everyday foundation. I wouldn't wear this foundation for like a special event or if I wanted full glam, but I would definitely wear this foundation when I'm just like, you know what, I want to put on a little foundation, but I want something very skin-like. I want something that's going to accentuate my skin, kind of make it pop. I would wear this. I think ColourPop did a pretty okay job with this formula foundation. What do you guys think about it? What are your thoughts on it? How does it look to you? Leave all of that in the comment section below because I am very interested in your thoughts. I think if you're in the market for a foundation and you want something more skin-like, you want something that's not going to be overly dewy but not dry and matte, that's got pretty good wear, because like I said, I think for 8 hours, I know I could continue to wear this, and I am shocked. No settling or accentuating of this fine line. I am shocked. That I am shocked about, and I'm pretty impressed about it. I would recommend this foundation. If you're interested in it, I would definitely say check it out. Take a look at it, especially because there's going to be 42 shades. I haven't seen the full shade range yet, but from the shades that I did see, I think it's a pretty decent breakdown of shades. So I think if you are interested in this foundation, there's a really good chance there's a shade for you. And guys, that is it. Let me know if there's any other questions about this foundation that I did not answer for you. I will go ahead and take care of that in the comment section below. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye guys.